Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and you can see today we are playing Singing in the Field, and we can have a farmer here just strolling, walking through a field, a fantastical looking field really, with pink flowers, beautiful green meadows, white flowers dotted everywhere, and just these distant mountains that we have there in the background. Now, the actual title of the puzzle, you'll see in a second. But when I saw the title of the puzzle, one picture came to mind, and I started doing a little bit of research to basically almost like copy it. And then I realized that apparently this picture is considered now, and the song that it evokes is sometimes considered racist because it sort of evokes stereotypical images of, African Americans from a certain period. So I thought, let's just avoid controversy, change the title a little bit, and well, the farmer, as you can see, is not African American. That's all I'm going to say on this topic. Let's take a look at the puzzle. So we have Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah by GDC. And I'm not really sure they say anything. I'm taking a look at these purple lines, and I'm not entirely sure it has, any kind of meaning behind it, but hopefully, if there is, GDC will mention it in the comments. He occasionally watches the channel. So this is sort of the return of the zip lines, which I think is an absolutely phenomenal Sudoku variant rule that I'm going to step through in a moment here. So we've got the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So that means the digits without any repeats of 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Now we also have digits an equal distance from the center of the lavender, quote unquote, zipper line, must sum to the digit in the middle of that line. So what does that all mean? And I'm going to use, probably this line is easiest. So you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cells, meaning the fourth cell, which is this one here, is the center. I'm just going to call it red. And what it means is it's almost like, imagine that you're zipping it up so that there are pairs of digits. These two are blue, these two are yellow, and these two are, I'm going to go with orange. And essentially, each of these colors, the two orange cells, must sum up to red. These two yellow cells must sum up to red. These two blue cells must sum up to red. And, obviously this applies for all the purple lines. So wherever you see that there is a center, such as this one or this one, then these two cells must sum up to the value that is placed here in the center of this zip line. So it plays very strangely, but it's surprisingly effective. So if you haven't played these before, actually, if you haven't played these before, give this one a go first. There are others that I'm going to remember to try and link up here. But from the comments that GDC made about this puzzle, this is actually the most approachable puzzle of this Sudoku rule variant that he's actually constructed. So if you haven't played this one before, give this one a go first. Right, what else do we have? Digits on the marked diagonals, and you can see these blue lines marking the two diagonals in the cell, in the grid. Am I going to be able to draw this one? Almost. There you go. May not repeat. So you can see you've got almost like a positive diagonal here. Without these two cells, goes all the way through. These have also got to be made up of the digits 1 to 9. And why do you say I mean that? Because there are 9 cells. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the same will be true of the other side. And essentially you've got no repeats. So you're going to need to use all of the digits 1 to 9. Now, if you are excited about the return of this rule set, or if this is the first time you're seeing it, link will be in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So from memory of solving these puzzles in the past, one thing that helps is to mark out where all the centers are, so that we just kind of keep an eye on where things are. And if you think about the diagonal for a second, you can already see that they all see each other in some shape or form. So these two cells, for example, see all of these. And I'm, as a result, sort of very tempted to color, but I might not do that just yet. I will. Right. Red, yellow, blue. Now these could be blue without any issue. But I'm not as confident that they're the same digit as this one. And I'll explain why. It's just, I'm looking at these, excuse me, these lines, and I'm noticing that some lines are fully contained within their own square. Which means if you think about the red one for a second, what it means is I need a digit that has at least 3 different ways that I can add pairs to get to it. So if you think about the digits 5 or 6, I can do 1, 4 or 2, 3, and that's only 2 ways I can get to the digit 5. If I think about 6, I can do 1, 5 and 2, 4. Technically, I can do double 3s, but for those that are essentially all contained within the same square, which is really the red, the yellow, the blue, their zipper lines are fully contained. I couldn't use a 5 or 6 because I couldn't do a double 3, for example, for a 6. That would just repeat it in the square. So these 3 are from 7, 8, and 9. And as a result, they're unique. What I'm less sure of is these cells being from 7, 8, and 9, or I guess being blue, because the fact is I've got these cells that are outside of their boxes, and therefore nothing stops me, for example, from doing 3, 3, and then the rest of these could be 1, 2, 4, 5, and making that 6. But let's think about these 3 first for a second and see if I can spot anything. So the thing to remember is if I don't place a 9 in here, I can't place the 9 on the zipper line, and therefore I'd need to place it on the diagonal, which I now can't because I've got 7, 8, and 9 already placed. So there is no 7, 8, or 9 on any of these cells, and therefore this has to be the 9. There are no 7, 8s, so that means the 1, 8 and the 2, 7 are on here. If I can figure out what digits is also not allowed in there, I'd figure out whether it's a 3, 6 pair or a 4, 5 pair. But I'm going to need to make a bit of progress before I can get that far. Actually, this 9 now, take a look in box 3. Well, it's not on the zipper line because there's nothing plus a 9 to get to 7 or 8, minus 1. Can't put it on the diagonal because I've already placed it. That's the only place I can have a 9. Thinking of it the same way, this is the 7. This is the 8. Because if this was a 7, where would I place the 8? Again, not on the zipper line, not on the cell that's in here. I'd have to put it on the diagonal where this would have to be an 8. So, in other words, blue is 8, yellow is 7. These are now 8, 9, because again, can't have 8 and 9 adding up with a digit to get to 7. And I don't actually know what this is, because it's not 7, 8, or 9, it's 4. I remember this from previously, because if you think about me placing a 4 on any of these, I'd have to repeat it to get to 8. So that's something just for me to probably remember about even digits on zipper lines is the halfway point has to be off it. So that's 4, meaning this is not, 4 is not here, meaning that 4 and 5 are on there with 1 and 7, 2 and 8. So this is 3, 6. Notice now, 7, 8, and 9 are neither of these, and these have to be unique. So I'm absolutely certain this is now 5 and 6. And I'm very sure that this is the 5, this is the 6. Why do I say that? Could I make this a 6? Let me think about this. I guess I probably could. I could do, let's see, 1, 5, 5, sorry, 1, 5 the other way around, and then 2, 4. That looks totally valid to me. Ah, but it's not that whether I can make this 5 or 6, it's whether I can make this a 5. So yeah, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different digits all in the same box with this, I already need 5 unique digits, up to 5, but not including, well, including the 5. Therefore, this has to be the 6. This has to be the 5. And then, can I get away with using this without the 3? I think the answer to that was no, because I needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be under the 6, including the 3s. Therefore, these are the 2 3s. That's a 6, that's a 3, that's a 5. And these are now from 1, 2, 4, and 5. Have I got anything to tell me? The order? Not really. What I do have is 7, 8, 9, which I will pencil mark. I'm not going to pencil mark all the rest though. That's not 9, that's not 8. That's as far as we can take it for the moment. Anything else I can do? I mean, obviously there's loads I can think about, but I'm just trying to think what else have I got on here that I need to think through. Yeah, so this means that this is 5, 6, 7, sorry, this is 6, 7, 8, 9, except these, remove the 8, 9 from here. 6 is not there, so 6 is in one of these two cells. This is from 7, 8, 9. And the rest is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, in fact. And then repeated. One of the pairs is repeated in here. How do I make progress from here? I think I need to think a little bit harder about some of these. So the fact that there is an 8 in here means there is no 1 in there. But frustratingly, that's not enough. I can easily do a 1, 8 pair in there. No, I need a bit more. Let me just, I know I said I'm not going to, but let me just pencil mark these for a second. And this is not 3, this is not 2. So that tells me that there is 3 of them, and therefore there's a maximum of 1 more in here. You know, to create a quadruple. Which would put one of 7 or 8, or I guess, or 5 in here. So there's a maximum of 1 of them in there. And what are these cells? So I mean the 6 is in here, because I can't have that 6 on this side. But essentially, what else do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I've got 1 low digit with either a 7 or an 8. So I've got a 7 or 8, which is going to be joined with a 1 or 2. Then I've got another low digit, which is from 1, 2, or 4, because I've obviously got the 3. And a 1, 2, or 4 could be joined with another 7, 8, or a 5. Yeah, no, this is not enough. I need to think about other things. Such as this 7. So look at this diagonal. I placed a lot of digits. Now I need one remaining digit that's going to add, sorry, two remaining digits that are in a pair that add up to 7. And it's not the 1. So I'm missing a 1, a 2, and a 5. But because 1 and 6 are not available, that's a 2, 5. That's the 1. Because that's the 1. This is its counterpart. That's the 7. These are now not 7. Almost getting there, 2, 5. So I've left 1 and 6, 3 and 4. Do I know the order of these? Not yet. I feel like I just keep missing, similar deductions about the zipper lines. I just need to look for very carefully. So what do I have left in here? I need a 2, 6 and a 3, 5. So this can't be the 3, 5 because the 5 is not available. This can't be the 3 because the 3 is not available. So let me actually pencil mark this just to see what it looks like. So 3 could be here, 3 could be there. Because the 5 can be here. And then the 5 could be there. But I couldn't place this 3 in here because of this. I couldn't place it in here because I couldn't put a 5. So that is actually reasonably restricted. And then the 2, 6 seems to be everywhere. But what it does create is, I'm going to 2 corner pencil marks as such. Meaning that there's a 3 in here and 5s will be restricted down here. Yeah, not enough. I think I just need a lot more of these. Yeah, let's think about the 6 now. Actually, no 1s means no 4s. That's a 3, 2 pair. Was that 1 around for a while? Probably. I just missed it. And a 1, 4 pair. 3 and 2. I mean, I'll come back to this because it may be putting a lot more pressure on the 9 now. I was thinking about the 6 though. So 1, 4, 1, 5 and 2, 4. No 1s means that there is a 1 as such and therefore a 5 in here, which kind of works. And then the 4 just only removes 1 cell, really, it's not enough. I will take the 5s though and just come back to the 9. I don't know, it seems like it should have been a little bit more obvious. I feel like I'm just missing something that is like the 7 staring at this 9. Goodness me. No 7 8s. No 1 2s. So what is this now? It could be, because there are no 7 8s. So what is left? 1 2 4 5 basically. Except that's not a 2 and that's not a 5. Therefore this is the other low digit. And therefore this has to be the high digit. Yeah. Yeah. So the high digit, I mean, it could be 4, 5, 7, or 8. It's not 5, excuse me. It could be 4, 7, or 8, but let's deal with this one first. This is this digit, which is 7, 8, or 5. Four, 7, 8. What does that do? That causes 1, 2. Clearly the 2 is not available, so that's not a 7. So that's 1 or 5. No, it's got to be more approachable than what I'm doing. This is just nuts. 4, 5, or 8. Okay. What else do I know? 7 8s. No 2. Forcing the 2 with the 3. That's very helpful. That's the 5 6. So we've got 2 more. Yeah, we've got 2 more low digits. Sorry, high digits with the 7 8 9, and a 4. Can this be 7 8 or 9? Or is that the 4? So if this is 7 8 or 9, it's clearly not the 9, and it's clearly not the 7. So that would be an 8 1 9. That's entirely plausible. Could I force it, or is it premature? So in here, I need another high digit, another 2 3, and another 1. The high digit's got to be in here. Let me just... So I need a 1. I need another 2 3. Now, this could be the 3. It just feels very unlikely. If this is the 3, that would be the 1. That would be a 2, which it isn't. That's not a 3. This is 6 8 or 9. And these are a 1 2 3 pair with the other 2 3. Which now tells me what this is. Because this is not 1 2 3. It could be, the lowest digit it can be is a 4. It's not 5 or 6 after that, or 7, so it's 4 or 8. So I need a combination of these two to get to one of these digits. So 1 8 works, and only 1 8 to get to the 9. None of the other combos do. And then to get to an 8, I don't even think that's possible. Yeah, 3 and 4 only gets me to 7, so that's not an 8. Forcing an 8 in here, not an 8. And then the other possibility is a 2 4 to get to a 6. Guess what that tells me is this is not a 3. Sleuth. I was just thinking, oh my goodness, Sleuth. I just was thinking, this feels a lot harder than it should be. Have I used the diagonals properly? And the short answer to that was no. I'm sure many of you were screaming at your screens for quite some time now. Look at this 5, looking at this 5. That's not a 5. What's the last remaining digit on this diagonal? It's the 1 4, but this one is staring at it. So that's 4, that's 1, that's 4. This is not 4, this is not 1. And in fact, because this is not 3 or 4, I can't have a 2 in here because that would require a 3 in there. This 4 here removes a 4 from there. 1 and 2 can only be with a 7 8. This 4 forces the 8. And therefore this is a 7. And therefore this is a 2. And this is a 1. And the 1 is joined with an 8. This is now a 4 5 pair. Can I actually resolve these? Yes, I can, because I have a 4 staring at it. Wow. Yeah, it is so much easier. The 2 bounces back. That's a 1. That's a 4. 4. This is 6 or 7. Look at this 7 disambiguating things. That's the 6. That's the 7. We'll just pretend this didn't happen. Or at least you'll be kind enough to pretend this didn't happen. Let's just keep going then. What other embarrassments can I try and recover from here? So I need 2 and 3. Well, I've actually got a 7 that goes back up in here. That's the 9. That's an 8. That's presumably the 6. And the 7. Forcing this to be a 9. Forcing this to be a 1 and an 8. This is no longer a 1. But it's still a 2 3 pair. Come back to that. What else do we have in here? We've got 2 3 pair. Unresolved. We need 5, 8, and 9. What else do we have? We know that there is a pair in here that we can resolve. 1, 2, 3. We need a 4, 7. Not resolved yet. We'll have another 2, 3 with a 5 and 6. I'm sure we've resolved these 3s, 4, therefore 2, 1, 5, 6 interfering with anything. Nope. 2, nope. Really? It's not giving me any of these. It must do. Yeah, the 6 has been there. It's almost at a point where I should just restart and just save myself the embarrassment here. And this 5 goes with a 3, this 6 goes with a 2. 2, we know what these are. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. We can probably think about what this is next. So we need a 3, 4 pair and a 1, 6 pair. This 6 tells me the 1, 6 pair is not that way. It is this way. That's 1, 6. That's 3, 4. This 3 gives me the order. That's a 4. That's a 3. This 2 gives me this. 5, 2, 1, 6. Yep, also resolved. 1, 8, 9. Am I asking for too much now? Probably. We know that this is not a 5 though. That's an 8, 9 pair. I know anything else yet? 4, 7. Yep. So, short answer is this was, excuse me, a lot more approachable than the other puzzles. It's just I made it seem less approachable somehow. So, almost ignore my solve. Try your own. We need a 4 in here, which can only be there, and an 8, which gives me the 9 and the 8, which bounces back in here. That's the not a 9. These are not 9s. This is a 5, 8 pair. This 3 gives me the 2, the 3. The 5, 8 pairs resolved. No. 3 5s. Nope. Let's keep going. What else do we know? We need a 2, 6, and 7 by the looks of things. That's 2 and 7 there in the column. That's the 6. This is 3 or 5. That's the 3. That's 5. That's 3. Excuse me. That was resolved ages ago, apparently. 5, 5, 3. I missed a digit. 9. Right, we still need a 2, 6, 7. This is 6, 7. That's a 2 and a 7, presumably, to finish the row. I need a 1, which can only be in here, and a 5 to finish the column and the row. Have I resolved anything? Nope. 1, 4, and 9, I'm going to say. 1 and 9 in the row. That's the 4. That's still not the 9. That's the 9. The 9 is not there at all. Let's try that again. 1, 4, and 5. 1, 5, still a 4. 1 and 5, that's the 1. That's the 5. That resolves the 8 and 5. I'm just going to say I'm just not fully awake yet. That's the reason for my very messy play today. We need a 2, which can only be in here. And this is a 6. We need an 8, which we cannot resolve, but we do need a 9, which we can. This 9 tells us that's the 9, that's the 8, that's the 7, that's the 8. I need a 7 in here, and if I'm not mistaken, I need a 3 to finish today's puzzle. Well, superb puzzle, GDC. Please excuse my murdering of the puzzle just by missing so many obvious clues, like the one that was staring at here, at, the 1, 4 pair that was in here staring at the 5 with this 5, I guess is the more obvious thing. What else did I miss? Yeah, just too many to count. But I think the break-in, though, was phenomenal. So, having to think about these 3 boxes, realizing there are 7, 8, 9 because they're all contained in the boxes, spotting that this is the 9 because you couldn't put 7 or 8 in here. Sorry, you couldn't put the 9 on the diagonal, if it's not in the center, and then just going from there and then getting to the point where 7 and 8 and 9 are in here, and then forcing the 5 and 6. I think that was a just inspired GDC. It was a lovely puzzle. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle. I'm not sure about the video, but maybe you enjoyed the video too. But it's always nice to see someone else's struggle and just, shout at the screen and say, Sleuth, what are you doing? Wake up. Here is the obvious thing that you should be doing. And see you guys for the next one. Bye for now.